Let battle commence. Yes, welcome to today's first of, I think I'm going to do about 8 of these in total, because I have 8 models. Basically, a quick look into each of the pullback toys. So, to go back, Robot Wars was a big sort of televisual success, and is proving to be so again now that they've brought it back. In fact, they've just finished filming the 3rd series, and I'm very, 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 very excited that my favourite robot ever is making a return, finally. But today we're going to be looking at one of the pullback versions of 2-time series winner Chaos 2. And I should quickly point out before we start these that these are not my original ones that I bought. I did buy all of them as a child. In fact, I think I had a couple of duplicates for reasons that completely failed me. But these are ones that I have gotten second or possibly even third hand off of eBay. And as such, they're in quite poor condition, but we'll go through that in each and every one of these that we talk about. So this is the first one. This is Chaos 2. Now, Chaos 2 was a flipper robot, so it did this. And then anything that was on there got threw up in the air. Allow me to demonstrate. We're back, and we have a face-off between House Robot Shunt, who has like an axey thing there for axing, and Chaos 2, who's... Oh, it's not going well. Oh, Shunt. Oh, what you did... Oh, Shunt, you... Oh, Shunt. Yeah, for those of you interested as well, that did happen in the series. So, looking into the actual model, this is part of the first wave of the ones that they released. They did 3 waves in total, and this was the first wave. And I have to say, actually, one thing to note about these is the competitor models are so much more detailed than the house robots, but again, that's something for another video. So, with this one, we've got overall the dimension. I mean, it looks like what it's supposed to look like. You know, everything seems to be pretty well proportioned. You've got the flipper, the logo is very beautifully recreated there. There's a little bit of detailing on the actual shovel here with these sort of scratches and scrapes which weren't actually present on the initial model. Actually, opening it up as well, you've got a little bit of detail here with the, I believe that was the battery box, if I'm not mistaken, and it has these little green stripings as well, which were present again on the actual thing. Side panel again, you've got some bolting details, and you've got these little clear plastic bits. They were for, in the event it landed on its side, they were supposed to mean that it couldn't land on its side, although, as you can see, it does just balance them quite nicely, but that was a feature that never really got fixed. And on the back, we've got these 2 wheels, which were present on the actual robot again, and we have all this detailing in here. Now, this isn't just painted on, which is probably what you would expect from a child's toy. This is actually moulded, so you've got a lot of texture for like wires and cables, and you've got the CO2 tank, and there's a motor, and pipes and valves, and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Now then, here's where we get into one of the missing bits. This would, when you got it new, have had a clear plastic cover which you could pop off to simulate damage. Unfortunately, that seems to have long since been lost to time. Now then, let's talk about the action feature for this one, because you'll probably have noticed that there is a button here. To originally activate the flipper, you would have pushed that, and the flipper would have opened. I have pulled this apart and removed the mechanism, so I can show you this in sort of more of a aesthetically pleasing way, but unfortunately that action feature is long since dead. So what would have happened, you press that and it would have gone bang, and there's a little release catch which you won't be able to see in there because it's all black plastic. But basically what happened with these toys is this little release catch would, essentially it was made out of very brittle plastic, so it would break. And the basic problem with that is that over the years you get them where they're not, the flippers kind of sit like that, even when they're closed, so yeah. I do believe they actually tried to fix that in later releases of this, but how successfully, I don't really know. The other feature of this is that it has a pullback motor. So you've got the main wheels here, and you'll probably notice these 2 red ones here. That's actually a pullback motor, so if we... Yeah, still works, just about. And yeah, basically that will piss off at 50,000 miles an hour. Again, this one isn't in very good condition, so it doesn't really sort of more limps now than it would have done back in the day. One other thing with these as well, they came with accessories. Now, the original couple of waves came with gauntlet accessories, so things like cones and barrels. This is what this one came with. It came with 3 of these, I should point out, so you know, they were little cones with little balls on them. Weren't very exciting, to be honest. I do have a couple of these bits and pieces kicking around, but not really full sets, so we won't be going into those. So yes, that is Chaos 2. I want to know down below if you guys had any of these as a kid, and if you still have some, actually. What did you like about them? What didn't you like about them? This is, I will say, probably one of the better examples of one of the more accurate toys that they did actually end up making. And we'll get into some of the less accurate ones in the near future.